All right, hello, I'm Dylan.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Totally Tangential podcast. My name is Totally,
My name's Tangential.
and welcome back to the podcast. Okay,
I really
well,
appreciate that you didn't let me in that we were doing that.
oh no, I never do. I wanted to get your raw reaction here. That's what gets the views.
Yeah. Black Raw.
What, man? We just had a double-digit episode. We are riding on a great momentum here. Don't look at the statistics as to how many of those were people trying to finish the same video.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I already do check the statistics, and it says that we got one new viewer, but for all I know, the one new viewer is like, we weren't logged in when we were viewing it, so it says that out of the 11 views, there were 5 unique viewers, so I'm not quite sure, yeah.
That one view might have been me checking the audio quality right before we called.
It very well could have been.
I don't want to talk about that. We're riding high on momentum. You know why?
Because you're high on momentum?
I'm high on life, and you are high because you just had a great week, an amazing week that you are going to tell me about.
Okay, well, my week was, not amazing, but not bad. It was pretty good. Something that I forgot if I told you about before, or if I brought it up on the podcast or not, but there's a gym on the other side of my workplace. It's like my workplace, a giant parking structure, and then a gym on the other side. And I get a discount for it. Does this sound familiar? Did I tell you about this already?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I don't think you have.
Then, yeah, we get a discount for it. That is one thing that I'll say first, is coming from SoCal with, like, Planet Fitness and 24-Hour Fitness and that stuff, and used to those prices. Guess how much this gym membership is before the discount?
You see, gym prices have kind of blown my mind because I would never pay more than, like, 20 to 25 a month for a gym, but I know people who literally pay, like, $60 or more for a gym. So I'm going to say cost $50 without a discount.
Without a discount, it's $85 a month.
Jesus, that is fucking absurd. Like, they better have, like, state-of-the-art equipment and services, and that place better be clean and huge.
Well, I will say it is nicer than, like, Gold's gyms that I've gone to and 24-hour fitnesses, but it's still just amazing to me because I'm so used to, like, oh, Gold's gym, 24 hours, $9.99 a month, and it's just super great and convenient from that standpoint, where so many things in Boston, like, 85 isn't even ridiculous. There's so many places that are between, like, $50 to $100 per month. The cheapest place the cheapest place I found is like $30 a month, but I get a 30% discount, so it's $52 a month. But the main reason why I joined the place, other than all of the gyms are super fucking expensive, is because it's really annoying when you go to work, and you're there for, like, a total of, between having a lunch and then having to walk there and walk back, you have, like, 10 hours of your day taken up by work or work-adjacent things. So you don't exactly have the motivation when you come home of, like, great, I got home at 6:30, I'm hungry, so I need dinner. It's like, okay, so, great, if I go to the gym after dinner, by the time that I come back, it'll be 8 p.m., and I have 2 hours to myself. So, at my job, I get a 20-minute break and a 1-hour lunch, but most of the time I finish all of my food within a 20-minute break. So, I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing nothing but watching YouTube during the 1-hour lunch and the other place is literally a 3-minute walk because it's on the other side of the building, I thought might as well just get the membership there. That way I don't have to spend time after work. I can just spend time during work going to the gym. So I've been doing that, and even though it is expensive, like I said, it is nice. They have free towels there. Obviously, you can't take them home, but you don't have to bring your own, and they have a sauna there. They have showers with shampoo and conditioner and all that stuff. They have some, good equipment and a lot of free things that you can use, like boxing gloves and shit like that. So as a whole, it's not terrible, but yeah, I'm enjoying it for what it is.
Okay. My only question is, if they have a sauna, do they have a GQ?
Oh my god. No one...
But all jokes aside, actual thing I was going to say was, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good use of time for me for sure. And, you get to stay in shape, be healthy, all kinds of things you're thinking of. It's just, I don't know how physically demanding your job is. Like, would that be too exhausting or not? You kind of just chilling.
I mean, my job isn't exactly super physically demanding. You have to be on your feet for pretty much all the day, but beyond that, occasionally you'll carry a heavy box, but it's not like I'm moving 30-pound boxes throughout the entire day. So, I mean, also it helps with the fact that at the gym, it might be kind of annoying if I was going there and for the 1 hour of my lunch, I'm like pushing myself to my absolute limit, but I want to get my cardio up, so I've been doing this, program that I've seen online to get yourself to be able to run a 5K. Starts out with like run 1 minute, walk 2 minutes for 3 days a week for the first week, second week 2 minute run, 2 minute walk, and then you work your way up to running for 30 minutes straight. But like that I do for 21 minutes, and then I go in the sauna for like 10 minutes and I take a shower. So that's not too bad at all. But yeah, if I was like, just doing bench press and squats and all of this stuff to failure at the end of every lunch period, then yeah, I'd probably hate myself.
Fair enough, but just getting some decent cardio in and, getting yourself to where you want to be, I think that is, a good goal and good way of getting you to your weight loss goals, fitness, tying it into New Year's resolutions, past episodes, all that.
Did we have a New Year's resolutions episode? Dude, I can imagine why now that people don't remember what they've talked about on the podcast or not, because this is, episode 9, and I already don't remember half the shit we've talked about.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure we brought it up at one point.
All right, I'll take your word for it, but yeah, how about you? How was your amazing week, leaf, whatever?
Well, my leaf, let me tell you, it is growing bigger and bigger. I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay, so my week. Let me think. There was something specific I wanted to bring. I guess for starters, I did get into, the 2 classes I wanted. So
I was going to ask about that, because there was the potential issue for one class.
Yeah, so I did make it in. So my life is officially back on track. But there was one yeah. This is what I wanted to say. So, there's a lot of service jobs where you work with people, and frequently you'll get some form of tip in exchange, whether it's, waitressing, bartending, etc., like that kind of thing.
Stripping.
What?
Stripping.
Oh, yeah, that too. You're not wrong. But point being, in the medical field, even though you have to have a lot of the same skills, you don't really get tips like that because that could be seen as quite unethical for a few reasons, right?
Yeah, understandably so.
But sometimes patients do feel quite good, and they will actually bring us some gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, my trainer and coworker told me, like, he's been actually given cash tips before, or he's been given like sunglasses for Christmas, like designer sunglasses, because you want to, that kind of thing, right? I haven't really gotten that yet to that degree, but this week alone, we had 3 different patients bring in some form of fruit, and then the one that I'm actually like super hyped about is this one patient, like, he makes his own salsa, bottles it and everything, but it was like habanero ghost pepper salsa.
Oh.
And oh my god, it was amazing. Like, it wasn't just like really spicy, but like the flavor profile was actually so strong and held its own merit that like I was willing to like go through the spice, which it wasn't like overwhelmingly spicy. Surprisingly, it was just like, it was really fucking hot, but it was like I could at least tolerate it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it also helps with both of our spice tolerances, because you and I both enjoy spicy food a good bit, where, like, my mom thinks that the hot sauce at Taco Bell is like, ooh, that has a kick to it. It's like, really? It's just salty for me.
Yeah, so you and I are on the same page here. But nah, it was actually so damn amazing, and I'm so glad the guy brought some, and I hope he brings some more. Like, me and my coworkers, we went to this one burrito place twice this week. It's actually like almost walking distance from where I live, so
okay.
Like, I'm pretty familiar with the place, even though I hadn't been there in years before this. Just the food is so good. We got the exact same like place 2 days in a row. As the burrito was good, but it was a vessel for the hot sauce.
Gotcha. I know certain foods are like that. Wings are, one of those foods that are just a vessel for the ranch, for hot sauce, whatever it is.
Yeah, so you actually get exactly what I'm saying. Like, and honestly, it held up. It was It was so good. I don't normally like going out during lunch to get food because you run out of time. You spend more money than you're hoping to, gas and all that. But like, it was super worth it this week.
What's gas at in California right now?
5 something, depending where you go. It's either a little below 5 or a decent bit above 5.
Okay.
So take that for what you will.
I'll take that for what I will.
So yeah, I don't know. It was just really nice.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. I don't think that I have anything else that's particularly notable. So if you do, go ahead. But if not, we can jump into the juicy topic that you prepared.
Anything too notable? No. And if anything comes up, I'm sure we'll bring it up next time on the podcast.
Yes.
But all that aside, yeah. We'll just jump straight into it. Which means this is pretty much my cue to go in, right?
Yeah, it is. Not for you to say it and then pause. I was wondering if something was happening and you needed me to cut it out.
No. I was expecting like some sort of like acknowledgement, like, okay, let's jump into it, John.
No, just go.
Okay, just go. So, I watched the finale of Better Call Saul, and it blew my mind with how good it was, right?
Oh, like, yeah, I saw Video Game Donkey posted a review of it, and I was tempted to send it to you because it's a 4-second review and it says, go watch this show.
Okay, good. I'm glad that he was on the same page as me. Like, it lived up to everything a finale, like, everything you would want, like, tying up every loose story and like delivering the emotional impact you wanted. It was fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I was thinking about is like the creators of that show obviously hit it out of the park with this one. Breaking Bad has become one of the most like iconic TV shows I think I can safely say of all time, or at least recent history. So like clearly these writers are very talented at what they do, and I don't know how they get there. I don't know how they come up with those ideas. I don't know how they like take the ideas out of their brain onto paper, onto the screen, like just a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I was thinking about is like, you know what? I'm never gonna have the dedication to actually like make something of it, but I at least want to see if I could come up with a decent idea or a terrible idea. Either way, just an idea.
Yeah.
And so oh, yeah, no, that's exactly what you and I did. I let you know, come up with a certain amount of ideas during the week. We will manifest them into theoretical reality and discuss it here today.
Yeah, I mean, you say gave me time during the week, and I definitely didn't do this, like, over the course of 20 minutes prior to this podcast starting. But something that I will say is that I think I've told you about this stuff before, but back when I was going to Cal State Dominguez Hills, I actually took either a screenwriting or a script writing class, one of the two.
Yeah, you did.
And, this kind of reminded me of it. I mean, obviously, since I did this in 20 minutes, I didn't have, 7 pages worth of scripts or anything. I have, like, very small synopses of each of these. But that was definitely, like, out of any class that I had to take, that was one of the most entertaining ones. And I think that you would enjoy a class like that.
Honestly, I probably would, because I always have, like, decent ideas. I just never sit down and actually like foster them in any capacity. So I just forget them and nothing ever happens with them. But like anytime I've ever been forced to actually sit down and work on any creative endeavor, 2 things happen. One, I get massive writer's block and get extremely frustrated and question why I do it in the first place. But after like a solid hour or so, maybe 2, finally, it's like Dig Dug, how he's always pushing through the ground, trying to get to that next step. I break through rock and I get those ideas. It's great.
Have you ever played Dig Dug?
I've loved it. Okay, well, I was moderately amused by Dig Dug as I did.
Okay, well, that's better than I thought I was going to get out of an answer for you, so.
Have you played Dig Dug?
No, I literally only know Dig Dug because of Regular Show.
Really?
Yeah, Regular Show has some episode where they have Dig Dug or some very clear knockoff of it. Oh, my alarm. I'm keeping that in the podcast because I'm too lazy to edit it out. But, yeah, so Dig Dug. Never played it. I don't even know what it's on.
It was like an old arcade game. Anyways, that's not too relevant. I could go. Actually, no. I am gonna go on this tangent. Screw it. Forget this topic. So I never actually really liked a lot of like traditional arcade games. Like Galaga was alright. It's probably my favorite out of all of them. Pac-Man is kind of boring, but it's okay. Dig Dug is more or less the same. It's just like I never really liked them per se. But growing up, I had a game called Namco Museum, like for the PS2, which was just a collection of classic Namco arcade games. And in the PS2 version, they would like revamp the games with modern like recreations with new mechanics, better graphics, all kinds of things. And those I genuinely do enjoy. And that kind of Dig Dug I actually love, and I could probably sit down and play that and enjoy that to this day.
Okay. I always thought it was cool. Matthew, the one that we both know that I've known since preschool, his neighbor, I remember one of the people on his street actually had in the garage a couple of arcade cabinets. And since they had a kid our age, when I was like in first or second grade, would go over there sometimes together and just play in the garage. And that was always fun, but it was something where as I got older, I looked up and like, oh, it'd be super cool to have one of those if you had the space for it. How much did they cost? And like, I just can't justify, it's $2,000 for an arcade cabinet, which literally only plays one game that you can play for free online. It's like, shit. I mean, it's cool, but unless I get $1 million, I'm not buying an arcade cabinet.
No, definitely not. I feel like that would be the kind of thing where either you have so much money you could just piss it away so it's cool, or maybe if it's something like you are so genuinely like in love with as a game, like I don't know. Obviously, my friends who love Dance Dance Revolution, if the three of us pooled our money together, it probably might have been actually saving money with how much we played that game in the arcade.
Honestly, true. But Oh, go ahead.
If you're playing a game to that excess, it might be worth it. But otherwise, it's just an aesthetic thing that if you have a shit ton of money, sure.
Yeah, but despite the name of the podcast being totally tangential, let's try to get back on track. So, your script ideas. Yeah.
You are reining in my creativity.
I am.
This is why I'll never become the next biggest podcaster, Dylan.
Yeah. Oh, you specifically?
I am the Joe Rogan to your... See, that's it. I don't know who else was on the Joe Rogan show. I don't know the producer.
Well, I'm the producer. I'm supplying the cash, and that's it.
Nah, I don't know. Anyways, getting on subject. Yes. That is a good idea. So, throughout the week, I gave us the assignment of coming up with decent, I guess at least synopses or vague ideas for a show, movie, game idea. Just something to see what kind of ideas we can come up with, foster, just discuss. And they don't have to be critically acclaimed thrillers. It could be like meme stuff or whatever. But that's what I did. So we're going to go back and forth, sharing one at a time, discussing it, seeing where it goes.
Well, Jonathan, you want me to give you my first piece of advice that I learned in screenwriting, script writing, whatever class?
I would love that.
It's do. Don't tell. So, you're describing all of the shit that we're gonna do. Don't tell them. Just do it, Jonathan.
So show don't tell.
Yeah.
But there's no okay, whatever. So I'm gonna give my first one, and then you'll give your first one. Ready?
See, you're already fucking up. Just go. Don't tell me what you're gonna do.
Here is the story of Artie the artist who arted like he never arted before.
Is that the title?
That's the title.
Great. What's the acronym for that?
I'm trying to figure out what that is. Okay, so here's the synopsis.
Okay.
Artie is a well-known film critic whose opinion holds legitimate sway over public hype for an upcoming theatrical release. One day, he watches the most absurd, boring, incomprehensible art house film, which spurs him into writing a scathing review. That film's director, outraged over the review, states that Artie simply does not understand her masterpiece, and that it's far easier to review art than it is to create it. She then challenges Artie to create a movie of his own to see how he would fare under that same level of critical review. But never one to let those opinions go, Artie accepts this challenge. But things quickly go awry. Each time he tries to create a film, it begins with a very engaging, amazing premise before falling apart for some absurd reason. Whether it be the inexplicable sex scene in his live-action puppet movie, the curious decision to tell the story of a completely uninvolved random pedestrian in a suspenseful drama about a crooked cop, or his distracting insistence that all characters must mumble rap in his musical titled I Have a Mouth and I Can Barely Speak. Artie's movies just cannot stand up to critical scrutiny for some unknown reason.
First of all, Oh, you got more.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a little bit more. Don't worry.
Okay, keep on going.
In a moment of frustration, he gives up on the script for his newest movie, instead of opting to take a night off and rewatch one of his childhood favorite films. Halfway through the movie, however, he has an epiphany. He pauses the movie and researches the production of said movie. Apparently, that movie was the director's first movie as a lead director, and rather than focusing on creating some form of high art, the director simply focused on telling a story that only he could tell. A fun, meaningless movie about a chihuahua who learned to speak and became best friends with a K-pop idol. Inspired by this level of genius, Artie rewatches the film he had such disdain for, and he grows an appreciation for it. He then reaches out to the director and apologizes, and the two bury the hatchet. They then go on to publicly agree to make a movie together, and several years later, that movie became a massive hit, despite the odd decision to have a golden retriever in literally every scene in the movie, even though the dog has no relevance to the plot, nor is it ever even addressed by a single character in the film. The end.
Okay, that was a whirlwind of emotions for me. I mean, first of all, I gotta say that, terrible. I hated it. Absolutely.
Why do you hate it? That is like peak cinema.
Well, the first thing that you said of just the amount of times that art was said in the title, it was atrocious. And then, I thought it sounded stupid, but then I thought, oh, okay, he was starting it stupid, but then it's got this, serious twist that I might actually like, of just like this guy who's, he's gonna see that it's harder to create than it is to critique. But then you just shout out all over any credibility that had by like, oh yeah, the, Chihuahua, this puppet sex scene, like, oh man, it was just a whirlwind of I hate this, oh, this sounds like it could be decent, oh no, I actually hate this. So, yeah, bravo.
Yeah, I like the idea of it having a serious, like, idea despite the stupid title, but then it just kind of devolves into, like, a parody comedy kind of thing, which, if you know it going in, I'm sure you could appreciate it, otherwise, that would be pretty fucking funny, not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I hate everything about it.
Well, what if we dial back on the curious decisions, like having a golden retriever in every scene and never addressing?
Oh yeah, everything just seemed like you were like, okay, he threw Air Bud in there, he threw Beverly Hills Chihuahua in there. I felt like half of the things were just referenced to other shitty movies.
I'm glad you actually knew what I was going for there.
Yeah, except I do like that the Air Bud thing just had him completely unacknowledged the entire time, which does actually remind me, have you ever seen Donnie Darko?
No, but I'm vaguely familiar with the premise. Like, he has some, like, imaginary creature or whatever, yeah?
Okay, well, don't worry about that, because that's not important whatsoever. That in the movie... it's been a while since I've seen it, so I could be butchering this a little bit, but there's essentially this fat guy who's just, like, he'll show up in different scenes of just, like, Donnie is walking through the park talking to his friend or his teacher or maybe the imaginary person, and then you just see this, like, really dumb-looking fat guy just jogging in the park as he does. It's like, okay, nothing too weird. He stared at him, which was a little bit weird, but, whatever. And then there's a house party going on later, and he looks out the window, and then just, like, the fat guy's just kind of there, standing there, like, I don't know. So the guy is constantly in there, but it's never acknowledged, like, not by Donnie, not by, anyone. He's just like, if you pay attention, you will see this fat guy in a tracksuit in, like, 7 different scenes in the movie, and that's essentially what your Air Bud ripoff is doing.
I never actually knew that had been implemented before. I just thought it was a funny idea. Damn, it is hard to be original these days.
It really is. I feel like, a lot of the stuff that I did was like, okay, this sounds like it could be entertaining, but let's be real, it probably has been pitched or is already a thing at some point.
Yeah, like, honestly, even this movie idea is me kind of just taking the plot of Chef and kind of twisting it a little bit. I don't think you've actually seen that movie, right?
Is that the one where Happy from Iron Man is a chef?
That's the one.
I actually have seen that, like, within the past couple months. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's actually a surprisingly solid film, given it seems to be a complete joke and fantasy at first. But
yeah, and I was surprised how many people from Iron Man are in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, when Tony Stark came in, well, not, but all jokes aside, like, this movie honestly is kind of just a ripoff of that, like, I mean, I obviously, like, added in, like, comedic elements in my way the same way they did in theirs, but, like...
but yours were much worsely executed.
Excuse me, they haven't been executed yet.
Oh.
But all jokes aside, it's just like genuinely like I took an existing idea, tried to make it my own, but like I tried incorporating elements I genuinely thought were original. Damn, it is hard to come up with something. I've heard like there's no such thing as like an original song. You always just like recompose things, but like, damn, that's kind of true though.
Yeah, really is. You know, everything after the dictionary was created, it's just a remix.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna kind of take this like Shark Tank. Will you invest $10 into my creation of Artie the artist who arted like he never arted before?
I will give you $10 to never say the title again.
Too bad. Artie the artist who never arted like he never arted before.
I think you even fucked up, but okay.
I did. I added never when I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but no, I will not give you your $10. But okay, then you can also, yeah, you know, we like rating things on numbers, so I'll give you a rating, and you can give me my ratings. And I give yours a solid 3.5 out of 10.
5 is average, right?
Yeah, 5 is average.
I'll take it. That's about what this movie deserves.
Yeah, you know, I gave you the generous, an extra generous 4 points because you're my friend.
I appreciate that. But with that said, I want to hear what amazing cinema idea you came up with.
Well, not all of them are cinema. I have one TV show, one movie, and one anime. But I will tell you the in-work title of each of them, and you can choose which one we're going with first.
Okay.
So we got Normal is the New Strange, The Delivery Driver, and You're It.
Oh man, It sounds suspenseful. That immediately got my attention. I kind of want to hear it.
Okay, well, it's not suspenseful, but okay. Which my descriptions are a lot shorter than yours, but they've got the room for us to talk about, you know, and play with the different ideas that could come up with. I don't have the full thing. It's just a general idea. It's my elevator pitch.
That's okay. We're gonna like expand it. We're gonna manifest it.
Okay, so You're It is my anime. And I'm not sure, you've watched some anime before, but one of the biggest genres throughout, like, the past 30 years of anime is there's some really intense sports anime out there. So, this one...
Yeah, like, I know of, like, Haikyuu or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So this one, here's what I wrote for it, is sports of all kinds are popular around the world. Some are known to be taken to their peak, such as basketball and soccer. But some people never think of the sport past the playground. Protagonist, I just named all of my protagonists protagonist. Protagonist, like many people, played tag when he was young, but unlike others, he never lost the passion for it. Watch as he dives into the extreme underground tag circuit, where a lot more is on the line than what you're used to on the playground.
I kind of love the idea of this, just taking the most fucking mundane game ever and making it a competitive sport. I like this. I would not watch it, but I know other people would.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing, that's why I thought it fit perfectly for an anime, because, like, Haikyuu or Kuriko no Basket or whatever the fuck it's called and stuff like that, Kuroko no Basket, that's what it is. Sports anime always make it really compelling more than actually watching the sport, where you'll have these like thoughts mid-second in and of just like kind of unrealistic sports powers, but still keeping it within the realm of like there's no superpowers and that stuff. And I could totally imagine like a tag circuit where they set up like different obstacle courses or something, because I know that there is a like professional tag thing that some people do where they do have obstacle courses or whatever, but I can imagine, you know, the main character's training arc where he learns how to like, you know, parkour backflip off of the wall or something and shit like that. And yeah, I just thought, you know, I could see myself at least watching an episode or two of this.
Well, honestly, yeah, I feel like what this sounds like is it's kind of like how Your Lie in April, how the whole musical thing is really just a setup for character development and like growth, experience, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like the sport is just the, you know, the fun setup. It's really about what happens around it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see the appeal there. I'm gonna give it the green light. I'm gonna give it a solid. Shoot, again, it's not something I would watch, but I know other people would, so I'll give it a 6.
Okay, I mean, that's better than your piece of shit. So.
Excuse me, art is subjective.
Yeah, especially to Artie, the artist who's never arted like he's arts before, yeah.
You were pretty close. That just shows it's a really memorable title.
Yeah, truly, with the word art in 5 different forms. But okay, so mine wasn't as detailed as yours, but I'm glad you liked it somewhat. You could see the reality behind it. If it's my highest one, maybe I'll fledge it out more and I'll submit it, and I'll be famous for your it.
Well, I want to like delve into this. Like, is this like, are they single games of tags or like team tags? And like, is there a romantic interest? Like, man, you're going to make this on the spot. Help me figure this out here.
Okay, well, as far as tags go, it's random each time. So you got 10 people in here. It's kind of like a game of Infected of Call of Duty. It's name pops up. It's like, okay, this guy is it this round, and you get different points for this, different points for this. If you make it this far, or if you tag this many people, then you can move on. There's of course every sports anime needs a tournament arc. So there's a tournament arc. He's got the rival, and there's also some just dumb comedic moments, because you can in like a baseball anime, you can have them at an MLB game and sit down and be like, that's going to be me one day, but instead this guy's like standing outside an elementary school peering in like some pedophile, and it's just like, look at those kids just enjoying the sports,
Oh, so he's like reminiscing on the days when everyone would do it just for the fun of it, and now he's like, I still enjoy it, but I'm locked in this competitive circuit.
Exactly. So it's serious, but it's definitely got its comedy in there.
Okay, sure. And then maybe his rival is like a bit of a dichotomy. He's like, he appreciates the competitive aspect, and he doesn't like the people who won't take it serious enough, because he appreciates the grueling nature and dedication of the sport. There we go.
Yeah, he's, the over-the-top asshole about it. And the girl, the love interest, who really wants to, be with him, he's like, psh, you could go out with me if you're able to tag me. So she's always just in the background trying to jump out and tag him. But with his amazing dodging skills, he always, just sidesteps her.
Dude, and in an anime, I could totally see the like stick dodging he would do too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man. So, you know what? I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. We fleshed it out a bit more, and I like what I'm hearing. This has some depth to it.
Okay, I'm glad. I hope that all of your movies, shows, games are not shit posts. So,
well,
yeah,
I wouldn't say they're all shit posts. I will say they all have a Jonathan twist on them.
That's called a shit post, but all right. No. Well, hit me with number 2, where it's Farty the farter who's never farted like he's farted before.
Oh boy, do I have news for you.
Oh god.
No, not even I would stoop to those levels. The next one is called The Entertainer.
Oh, okay. This one sounds like it could have a good premise, and I'm sure you'll manage to butcher that.
No, don't worry. And it is about a similar length, so just give me a moment to finish it here.
All right.
Okay. The eccentric, well-off Justin decides to help his sympathetic, down-on-his-luck friend, Drew, get back on his feet by allowing him to crash at his place rent-free. Along the way, the two decide to turn their dreams of stardom into reality by creating a shared online project. The project goes nowhere for a few months as Drew struggles to piece his life together, much to his chagrin. The two, frustrated by their lack of a following, post a controversial video, thinking no one will ever see it anyways, but it goes viral. Justin, seeing an opportunity, wants to jump on the trend, to Drew's dismay, who reluctantly agrees. Justin keeps pushing the envelope, posting more and more controversial and dangerous videos, which rack up more and more views. Suddenly, the two have a small but loyal fan base, and the project starts earning revenue, which allows Drew to start saving up for his own place. Along the way, though, Drew starts to notice a change in Justin's demeanor. He grows more and more obsessive, and he is quick to anger. Drew attributes this to the project, but he's afraid to pull the plug as he does not want to lose the source of income, nor his place of living, so he goes along with it. The situation progresses until the two accidentally commit a crime, though they are not caught. They decided to temporarily stay elsewhere until the situation cools down. Unfortunately, feeling boldened by their lack of punishment, Justin engages in more and more egregious criminal acts, which Drew is forced to help cover up and stay on the run for, as he is now too afraid to turn to the police as he is complicit in those actions. The crimes grow to be so monumental that they get mainstream attention, and though their identity is unknown, law enforcement is now actively searching for them. Eventually, the two slip up, and their identities are revealed, which puts their loved ones in danger of retaliation from vindictive online onlookers. Drew wants to come clean, but Justin refuses to give up the life they now lead. Drew, racked with guilt, turns himself in and suffers the consequences, while Justin successfully evades law enforcement and starts over. The movie is going to end with a flash-forward scene in black and white, with a news announcement that a video has now been posted again to that infamous project account. The end.
Okay. Well, my first thing that I gotta say is this clearly is just you took us and then what our next step is gonna be, because Justin drew Jonathan Dylan, and essentially, what
Okay.
you're saying is just like, these don't get views anyway, so I'll just post a porn tape for the next one, and then that blows up, and we get wrapped up into it.
It was literally just my coworker's name, and then I was like, what's a, non-suspecting, name? I was like, Drew's pretty good.
No, you can deny it all you want, but no, I enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of like the extreme version of like prank YouTubers, where it's like people, go down these routes where they're grabbing people's asses in public and all that stuff, and one guy's in it more for the fame, and the other guy was in it for making what he wanted to in the art, and you can see the divide that comes up and all the shit that happens, and this one is extremely less shit posty. I am much happier about this one than I am about Artie McFarterson.
Hey, now, I said not all of mine were shitposty.
Yeah, but that worries me that the next one is again.
Really, it just requires that one is a shitpost.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, this one I genuinely felt like, okay, this could be a little bit better, and maybe, a short, series or something, probably just a YouTube series at most, but, I was like, dang, this at least has a solid enough premise. It could be interesting.
Yeah. I like this one. I forget, did you say this one's more of a movie or more of a TV show?
It could be either, honestly. It'd either be a short TV show or a longer movie. I don't think it'd be any sort of issue one way or the other.
Gotcha, because also, me drawing parallels with everything, just to say that you're ripping off everything, is...
didn't think with that, too.
Yeah, is, this also kind of reminds me of, what's Walter White from?
Breaking Bad.
Of just like, okay, insert guy who originally was just doing this so he can get money before he dies of cancer for his family and all that stuff, and then goes too far down the rabbit hole. And that kind of sounds like what this is, and you have the beginning and then you have the end with the flash forward in gray, and he's standing at the end of the freeway with black and white as the minivan drives down. I mean, it's 1-to-1, Jonathan.
Am I just literally ripping off every show and movie I've watched over the last 2 years, subconsciously? This is terrible.
Yes, it is, but that's okay.
Dang. Well, I think the real thing here is the quality of what I ripped off from, I guess, is why this one might be a better idea.
True. The quality of this is much better. But I do find it interesting because also the next movie that I'll pitch to you is one that also has accidental illegal things coming up.
Okay, so we both kind of went a little bit into that end of the sphere. I like that.
Yeah, but yes, if you have anything else that you would like to say about your movie, things that you enjoy about it, don't like about it, things that you want to flesh out more, and of course I will give you my out of 10 rating. I'll give that right now, which this one...
Yeah, that's what I want. I want is it fresh or a Rotten Tomato?
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I like some things about it. Certain things I feel like in your description seemed like they dragged on a bit too long, or that you went back to a topic that could have just been described in an earlier part of it. Yeah. But overall, topic, not bad. I enjoy it. So I think this one's worth fleshing out more.
I appreciate that, and I'm not gonna lie, it might have been a factor in me doing this at 2 a.m. when I was exhausted from a week of work.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's hear your next one.
Alright, so my next one, I'll do the one that has, at least one parallel, is a movie, and it's called The Delivery Driver. So in this one, protagonist is a humble Uber Eats driver, just trying to make whatever cash he can get. One day, he gets a seemingly usual order pickup, which ends up throwing him into a world he wasn't prepared for. When protagonist picks up his order to see it's actually filled with pounds of drugs, and is now being pursued by an angry drug dealer, what will he do? Can he finish his delivery without dying, and more importantly, with a generous tip?
Oh, wait, so he doesn't like bring it to the police or anything and be like, "Yo, this isn't mine." He literally wants to finish the order.
Well, the thing is that he has like Pablo Escobar tailing him in the car, being like,
Okay.
"Oh," because the people who are selling the stuff through Uber Eats or whatever, they stole all the drugs from insert big
Oh,
drug
wait.
dealer here. So they found out like, "Oh, that guy's like he has all of our drugs." So they don't give a shit if he pulls up to the police station. He's just getting gunned down, and the drugs are getting
Wait.
stolen.
So when you were saying like he's being followed, you mean like a hot pursuit? Not
Yeah.
like just, oh, that changes everything. Okay, so he's like cutting through like at the street, running lights, swerving, all that kind of stuff. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So this is pretty much, Baby Driver, 30 minutes or less or anything like that, but with an Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever you want, delivery driver who accidentally gets picked up into the world of drug dealing.
Well, I like that because you're incorporating a grind set into it because clearly it's his third job as he's trying to support his family.
He is.
So,
he is.
yeah, I can understand and respect that. Though I will admit, I never watched Boss Baby Driver, so I can't quite say I know what that movie is about.
Oh, neither have I, but I've seen the commercials, and honestly, that's all you need to know to get the synopsis of those.
Yeah, no, I like this. Maybe your guy can have some kind of like disability and or superhuman trait too. Maybe he's actually blind, but he rolls down his window and he can tell where cars are through his super hearing.
No, he has one of those sticks that blind people use to hit the
Wait.
floor, and it's just like rapidly going outside his window.
That man, this guy must have the best reflexes of all time.
He does. He also has Tourette's, so he's just constantly saying the N-word. But because it's a medical thing, they allow it to go by with a PG rating.
I feel like this project would get shut down because of that detail, not gonna lie.
No. It's still better than Arter McFarter.
I'm still hung up on the how he would use the stick to drive, because by the time the stick would hit something, he would like crash into. So does his car have like some speed racer jump jacks that are gonna allow him to like jump over cars or something? Because then you're ripping off another movie.
No.
and
Well, what it is you know how like ants or certain bugs use their antenna as like feelers or whatever? So he has two blind person sticks like hooked up to his headlights, and those like get there's a line connected to them transferring through the car to his like testicles or whatever. So he feels everything that's in front of his car.
Wait, I think if he's feeling that that would be so disabling that he wouldn't be able to drive and he'd get caught by the drug dealers tailing him. We gotta iron this out before I can give it a fresh score. We gotta.
This is all just food for thought. He might not be disabled whatsoever because you threw that in. But
Well, you said Baby Driver.
what? I didn't watch Baby Driver. I just meant someone driving and getting chased. I didn't mean he has to have a disability, Jonathan.
No, I'm saying that we're ripping off every IP in existence.
No, his disability is that he's an Uber Eats driver, so he gets paid worse than minimum wage.
That's true. When you take into account like the wear and tear on his own car, that's terrible.
And with gas these days. So, like, the reason why he doesn't turn into the police is he's like, hey, man, drug smuggling isn't that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, like he respects the hustle. He has a Sigma mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, but is he still working 2 jobs and everything?
Yeah, one's for Uber Eats, the other's for DoorDash.
I feel like he can get a better,
Nope.
more consistent.
Nope.
Okay. Well, maybe he has family at home that he has to take care of, and that's why he can't hold a consistent job, like with a set schedule.
No. He's actually, he's single.
Oh, well, does he have a passion for delivering food?
Nope, he hates it.
So why doesn't he just be a normal Uber driver?
Because he actually, that's his second job. He's an Uber Eats driver and an Uber driver. So he has someone in the back of his car and he's like, oh, actually, can we stop by McDonald's first real quick?
Okay, this makes the idea better. I actually like this turn of the movie more. Does he at least like being an Uber driver then if he hates being an Uber Eats driver?
Sure. He enjoys that, but that's
Okay.
another level of when he picks up the drug thing, he has someone in the back of his car, so then that fucks with things as well.
Oh shoot, because then they're involved too, and he has to take them past their destination and not deliver the food because he has to focus on the drugs. And oh my goodness, maybe in a post-credit scene he gets the people and food to their destination. The people are like, "Bruh, this is literally like hours late."
Exactly. Well, how he's going to manage the 5-star Uber and Uber Eats rating? That's what it's all about.
Maybe they'll understand his struggle and he'll become the most famous Uber driver of all time.
Yeah, I mean, that's not hard to do. I don't know too many other than ones who committed murder, but yeah.
Man, I think this is a great movie. It's a high art piece talking about the war waged between the proletariat masses and the lower class who are trying to get by and have to use escapism via drugs and hard work in order to support their lifestyle. This is high art.
No, this is Eat Ass Drive Fast, but okay.
That would have been a better movie for the movie title than what you came up with.
These are movie titles in progress, so yeah, we can change it.
Literally, Eat Ass Drive Fast is fucking genius. Why did you not come up with that? I'm kind of mad.
Okay, well there it is. Now it's Eat Ass Drive Fast.
And that actually totally fits with what the movie. I'm assuming it has to be a comedy. Like, unless you're actually playing this as a suspense movie, which would be fucking stupid with the details we added.
No, it's a romance.
Oh, it's a wait. Does he fall in love with the person he delivered? Wait a minute. No, wait. If he's delivering the drugs, he has to stop at the end. Aren't the people he took the drugs from just gonna murder him?
No, he kills himself in a moment of solitude.
Then where's the romance? Is he like calling? You said he's single. Wait, where is the romance?
He's an autosexual.
Like, with his car?
No, as in with himself.
What's an autosexual?
Someone who's only sexually attracted to themselves.
Oh, I thought it was someone who's only sexually attracted to automobiles.
I mean, we can double mean it. But yeah.
I was using context.
I'm going to stop ruining this movie for my original thing.
No. I like where we're going with this. It's spiraling into something better and better.
I hate you. Yeah, wait, here's my shitpost movie.
Can his car be like a semi-sentient being that like can also transform into a battle robot? That way he can take out the people following him?
No. Go on to your third movie.
You mean that we can't rip off a Transformers as well?
No, we can't.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll go on to the third one then, Mr. I don't like my genius high art that I'm coming up with.
Yeah.
Alright, this next one is called Dreams and Nightmares, which is coincidentally a good song by Meek Mill.
Oh, I mean, this sounds like a game, but is it not? Is it a movie? Is it a TV show?
Probably a movie.
Okay.
Because it would drag on way too long to be a show.
Fair enough.
Okay, here is synopsis. It isn't real. None of it is real. No matter how much she wishes that things were different, Amy is stuck somewhere between sleep and awake. Her life is filled with nothing but loss and regret. She tried everything she could do to feel alive again, whether it be therapy, changing career paths, spending time with loved ones, spending money like there was no tomorrow. But none of it made her feel a thing. The only time she felt alive was when she was asleep. There, she lived a fantastic life, one filled with magic and adventure. Her whole life, every night Amy would have one continuous dream, and she grew connected to the life that she had in her dream. There, life was exciting. She had a family, wasn't a wage slave, and the world revolved around her. It was nothing like real life. As the years go by, Amy develops an addiction to sleeping. She even starts to legitimately believe her dreams to be her actual real life. Those around her, however, are concerned and stage an intervention. It is there that they realize how just how disconnected Amy is from reality. She genuinely cares about her dreamed loved ones more than the ones in the very same room as her. This causes Amy to get hospitalized for intensive care. It is there after much time that the dreams stop, and the doctors are satisfied with the progress that Amy has made. But she, tragically, has never felt more alone, as she went a night without seeing the ones that she loves most. She feels like she is now truly living in a nightmare. Her mental health spirals out of control until she is confronted with the ultimatum that she must choose between her dreams or her reality. Stuck between sleep and awake, Amy must choose whether to let go of her dreams and better her reality, or retreat back into the place she has felt the safest for years. Her spirit broken, but body inexplicably shaking, she looks the doctor in the eye and decides that, and then the movie cuts to black, and that's the end.
Oh, Well, I mean, that's pretty good, but it's also a rip-off of something that I've seen, Jonathan. Oh,
Wait, is it?
no, well, not actually like something that's fully produced, but
Oh,
you know, in those good old days of like, you know, early 2000s when Facebook was not a like neo-Nazi cringe website.
dude, I'm gonna be so mad if this is actually a thing.
It's not exactly this, but yeah, you know, there were always those things that like they were very Maple Story esque. Like those, that's the community that I put these videos with, and they normally had like some very, you know, emotional music in the background. And there was one about the story that I think actually our friend Kin had, you know, shared or something, not made, but you know, shared. That's how I saw it, or something that at least he would have if he did not specifically of.
Yeah.
Of this girl who, yeah, is just like kind of going through the motions of life, but in her dreams she has like this boy that she's in love with, and it's this reoccurring thing. So she gets to meet him every time he goes to sleep, and she finds her mother's sleeping pills. So she starts taking those and going to school and doing that
Bruh.
and stuff like that. So the teacher reports it and is like, "Look, you got to stop taking these." And the mother gets mad at her, and she is like, "No, you know, I'm so mad, blah blah blah." And she had some extra sleeping pills stored. So she took like a fistful of them, and in her dream when she gets there, the boyfriend that she has, you know, looks kind of sad, and she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And you see this darkness creeping in, and he basically tells her, if like, you know, we can only see each other in your sleep, but you overdosed on sleeping pills, and as the darkness creeps in, you know, she dies from overdose.
Do you know how fucking pissed I am? Because I was gonna include the detail about sleeping pills, but like honestly, I think I drove the point home enough. I don't need to like include that in synopsis. But what the fuck? I am mad.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, but I've already seen an animated version of this that was very emotional on 2013 Facebook.
Bruh, what is going on? I thought I was ripping off a different thing vaguely, but now I'm actually basically just ripping off something directly.
Yeah, exactly. But I really enjoyed the thing that you're ripping off, so I'll give your story a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
No, I am mad. I basically am rehashing something I already made unknowingly.
Yeah.
I give this like a 2 out of 10. This sucks.
No, it's great. I mean, it was like, you know, 2013 Facebook video, so it wasn't a fully produced movie. You know, you can go more into depth with it. You're basically
And
just
then
adapting
get
the short story.
sued.
Well, no,
I will get
you're
sued.
paying for the rights. You're paying for the rights.
You know the worst part? You know what I tried to rip off of?
What?
Vaguely, to be clear, like vague inspiration, not direct. I tried to rip off of Howl's Moving Castle.
I've actually never seen Howl's Moving Castle.
Basically, the Howl, I think his name is. I don't actually remember his name. It's been like a year since I seen it. But one of the characters has like abilities, and he has a magic house that like doors open and he jumps to different parts in the world and like all that. So it's like, like he's living a double life. He saves the world as some creature with powers in one, and he's also in love with a girl in another. It's like, he's living 2 different lives. I'm like, 2 different lives? Basically doors to different realities. Wait, sleeping with dreams and being awake, that's basically a good analog to that. I was like, cool, I could vaguely rip off of it without anyone really directly seeing what I'm doing. But no, I just had to decide that this Facebook Maple Story-esque kind of thing seemed perfect to unknowingly rip off of, even though I've never seen it, and I am pissed.
Yeah, I'm trying to type into Google to find it, but I can't find it. So, you know, maybe it's niche enough that that you can rip it off, no problem. But yeah, if I do find it, I'll link it to you later.
With how close it sounds, I honestly don't think like anyone could get away with that though. Well, I don't know. Like, it might be animated, but I don't know how that works with regards to things being like. I don't know if the right word is trademarked or copyrighted or like whatever the intellectual property law is there, but like. I don't know how that works because I've seen singers get sued for like less, where this is pretty accidentally blatant, I guess. So like, I don't know. I'm just kind of mad that even when I try to come up with something original, it's still ripping off. All 3 of these were rip-offs in some way, some more direct than others. But this makes me mad. I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad it sounds good because I genuinely thought it was the best out of all 3 too, which is why I saved it for last.
Yeah.
But I'm mad.
Well, it was the best. It's just a ripoff.
No, this is the thing. I didn't even come up with this for this, though. I had been thinking about this for a while in the back of my head, not like actively developing. I'm like, damn, this could sound pretty good. But now I'm mad.
Well, sucks to suck.
You cut out. All I heard was suck.
Oh,
But,
I said sucks to suck.
oh gosh, I thought you were just giving me a command. I'm like, okay,
Suck. It is time to suck.
yeah, man, I am heated. But before I just go on a totally tangential tirade, ooh, there we go, another T word. We'll let you take the floor.
All right. So my last synopsis idea, general thing, is a TV show called "Normal is the New Strange." Protagonist lives in an apartment that just so happens to be filled with heroes, villains, aliens, etc. Ironically enough, he seems to be the weirdest one there, just by being a normal guy. And stranger yet, just like how Superman thinks that, when he puts on the glasses, everyone thinks that, like, oh, he's just a normal guy. And for some reason, everybody believes it. He's the only person in the entire building who has enough common sense to be like, oh, that guy's Superman. That's the Joker. That's, that's an alien and all that shit. So follow protagonist as he goes through his life as a neighbor and potential friend of a bunch of idiotic anomalies. So yeah, he's just living his life, and maybe Superman comes next door and he's like, oh, how's it going? It's like, oh, work problems. And he's like, yeah, I can imagine, as he, looks at the news of Superman saving someone earlier in the day, and it's just like, dumb shit like that happens.
Wait, so is this movie filmed from the perspective of the normal dude who can clearly see what's going on, or
yeah, it's a TV show, not a movie. So it can be an episodic thing where maybe one day he invites some people over for dinner, and you have Batman and Joker sitting right next to each other, but Joker doesn't have makeup on and Batman doesn't have his mask. I mean, as examples, I know that Batman, Bruce Wayne is rich and all that stuff, but similar things, just they're all so fucking dense that they don't realize that they're in an apartment which just so happens to have all of these amazing people, and he's the only one are are all of you guys fucking stupid? Okay.
Well, I love this idea because the comedy aspect of it, but something I'm going to say that I fucking hate is how you and I think so similarly, because I'm going to reread the passage from Artie the artist who arted like he never arted before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going on. Whether it be the inexplicable sex scene in his live-action puppet movie, yeah, sure, but the next part. The curious decision to tell the story of a completely uninvolved random pedestrian in a suspenseful drama about a crooked cop. Both of us had the idea of taking a story that's really dramatic with big over-the-top things and then just tell it from someone who's completely random and be like, huh, well, that's interesting. And I hate that we both did that. Granted, mine was obviously making a parody joke about it being a bad idea, and then yours is literally making a joke parody, so it's not exactly the same, but just the thought I even thought of it and then you made an idea about it, that's just, man, we are too similar. I hate that.
Yeah, we should start a podcast.
Yeah, it's basically just me, one person riffing with themselves, more or less.
That's depressing. Maybe I'm just really good at doing voices, and you never hear us talk at the same time, do you? Haha.
That's never happened once. We're so polite. But all jokes aside, I like your idea. I feel like it's funny. It's got a decent enough premise. My only question is, how are these superheroes, aliens, and everything earning enough money to stay in the apartment?
Well, that's why they're all living in the same apartment, because, they got, side jobs or that shit that they don't make tons of money from, because you don't have time to learn software engineering when you're saving, kittens from trees and all that stuff.
Wait a minute. So can there be an arc, or not even an arc, can there just be scenes where, the protagonist is going to, a grocery store and then he fucking sees Superman bagging groceries or something?
Well, people don't know he's Superman, but he does.
Oh, yeah.
But yes.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said aliens. Do they present themselves as humans, or are they also, are they literally, alien, non-human looking?
It's, since this is going more the comedy route, it's just hello, fellow human, ho-ho, ha-ha, and maybe they'll have, those dumb glasses with the big eyes and the fake mustache and nose with it.
Okay, sure, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this has potential. I'm gonna give it the green light, and I'm gonna give it a solid... I'm not gonna give it a score, because this kind of thing breaks the scale of ingenuity.
It transcends scores.
Yeah, so it hits the 10, but it goes just over and loops back around to a 1.
Oh.
So you earn a 1, but because it's so good, it looped around.
Great. So it's a 1.
Yeah, I give this idea a 1 out of 10.
Wow, thanks.
You're welcome. I hope you can really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. I do. Well, I mean, at least
So,
I didn't rip anything off.
hey now, you're an
Oh,
all-star. Let me
sorry.
think. um, let me think if that rips anything off. Can I argue that it rips off Kappa Mikey?
No, you can't.
'Cause, just normal person ending up in a situation with all these like larger than life people around him, and he's like, "Bro, what's going on?" But like he clearly sees, the absurdity of what's going on around them, even though they all think it's like legit and normal. I'm gonna say it rips off Cap and Mikey vaguely.
Nope. I'm original.
Well, all jokes aside, I'm not gonna end it yet, even though we're done with all three ideas, because I kind of do want to make a point here.
Okay, make your
Like,
point.
I know that both of us like took on some like more comedic ideas. Yours with your tag one, and then obviously this one, right? Actually, all three of yours were kind of comedy based. Now that I think about it.
Well, the tag
But-
one wasn't necessarily comedy based, but it could have a comedy aspect. Like,
That's
tag
true.
was going to have a serious sports aspect to it of just a dumb idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, point being, like we each took interesting ideas. I don't think we were exactly sitting down to make masterpieces. Whereas, like, I'm sure that the people who sat down to make like The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, whatever great show you want to mention, I'm sure they actually did sit down and think, I want to make a moving piece of like media. And like, I don't know, I didn't find it hard to make what we were doing, but I'm very consciously aware these are terrible ideas largely, aside from maybe like a funny YouTube video, like actually making them. But I think you get what I'm getting at. Like, just like, dang, I couldn't imagine how hard it would be to do the real thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, like, when you actually have to write out the full script, that part takes more skill. I think making a general concept, I think several of these as general concepts, if we had the skills to flesh it out enough, could be decent as a script. Because, believe me, when I did take my script writing class, there were some people who were just, like, absolutely atrocious of, like, oh, this is just, like, a one-to-one ripoff of your life. This is just a one-to-one ripoff of a show that you like. There was one guy in the script writing class who every single script that he wrote for the entire semester was about Michael Jordan.
That's right, isn't it? That's so weird.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you're right. Maybe we're not 10 out of 10. We're destined to become writers or anything. But I feel like our writing skills are decent enough, at least from an English perspective, even if that doesn't translate one-to-one. And I feel like we can have some generally decent ideas, where I feel like the hardest part would just being able to, like, pitch it to a executive or anything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe. That's fair. That's fair. It's just, I don't know. I did genuinely have fun doing it, even if most of my ideas were like shit and kind of memeing in a way. But like, I kind of enjoyed it.
Oh, I
don't know,
enjoyed it as well. The only thing that I didn't enjoy was hearing your first movie.
What? I think that one was the most like easy to hear. Let me think of how to pronounce the word like palatable or something. Palatable? I don't know. Like that one.
Palatable?
Palatable. There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I never heard someone say it in real life. To be honest, I've only read it in like. It's like the word epitome. Like, it looks like epitome or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, although that's fair, no, go fuck yourself, you're an idiot.
But point being, like, I think that was honestly the most, like, easily watchable out of all.
No. The other ones,
Yeah.
the other ones, granted, need some skill to pull them off artistically, but yours literally just seems like you did a Mad Lib and just of, like, let's shitpost a movie.
Maybe this is the difference in our movie taste right here, because I would actually watch Artie the Artist who arted like he never arted before.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would watch that with you on a couch, absolutely. But I would recommend that movie to people because it's so terrible. Where, like, the other one, especially the last idea that you had, although it ripped off that one Facebook video frame for frame, is something that I could imagine myself watching that and maybe tearing up and being like, if it was done well. Yeah, that's not happening at Artie. Like, I'm tearing up because when will this thing fucking end?
I like to think you're tearing because you're laughing so hard you're crying, because it's a genius work in the art of comedy.
Yeah, truly.
Who do you think should be the main star in it? Like, I think Adam Sandler would be a decent choice.
I think the only thing to redeem it would be The Rock.
Could you picture the Rock being called Artie?
They call him The Art.
I don't know. That's kind of pretentious.
Well, he sounds pretentious in your movie. But yes,
I
do
guess
you
that's
have...
literally what plot point.
I was going to say, do you have anything else that you're trying to drive home there, or can we roll the credits?
I mean, we can roll the credits and we get post-credit scene.
Oh no, I hate the post-credit scene.
All right, we'll just end it there, though.
All right, well, ta-ta for now.
For new.